Alright, what's up? My name is Impractical, and today I'm going to be going through the beginner route for the Super Mario Bros. Wonder any percent no major glitches category. It's kind of a long time coming. This route has been in the open for a while, but there's never been any video for it. And I figured before DK Bonanza comes out and we'll be busy with that, we'll do a beginner run through of it. That way people will have it if people decide to run this category. So, a few things to mention before we start. I am playing on Switch 2. Switch 2 saves roughly 40 to 50 seconds in this category, so no fret if you don't have a Switch 2, especially when you're starting now. This category is over 2 hours long, so a little under a minute doesn't change all too much, but it's quite nice to have the fast load times for Switch 2. I am playing on English for this playthrough, but the fastest language is, well, it depends. The system language is fastest in Spanish, and the Talking Flower text is faster in Simplified Chinese. But we'll be playing this in English, that way y'all will be able to read the level titles. So when I'm talking about, let's say, Cosmic Hoppos, you guys can see Cosmic Hoppos on screen. If you're curious about setting up your languages to be the fastest possible, it only saves about 2.5 seconds, so really don't worry about it. But if you are curious, join the speedrunning Discord will help you get set up with that. And I don't think I really have much more to talk about. So we're just going to get ahead and get started. The beginner route, I will say though, before we actually hop in, is a little bit it's not an easier route per se. The tricks are not just easier. Honestly, most of the tricks in the world record route are not difficult. The two main differences between this and world record is that you don't have to worry about purple coin routing, and you don't have to worry about power-up management. Those are the two difficult things for people to start off with. So for this beginner route, we're not going to worry too much about purple coins. In fact, we're going to be playing a level that world record normally doesn't play. We'll get more into that when we get there. And we're also not going to do a lot of tricks that require us to save a power-up from a different level. That way, the most difficult part about world record speedruns is that you gotta play through several levels in a row without taking damage, just so you could use a power-up in a certain spot. There's a few exceptions that we'll go over in the beginner route, but those are the two things that, if you want to get past the beginner stage, those are the two things you need to work on. So we're gonna hop into one player. You can pick any of these first 7 characters. They do not change. They all have the same movement and everything. The only thing you have to watch out for is some characters have hidden blocks that appear that might get in your way. So when you're practicing, just be aware that the character you play might change slightly, very slightly, how you play the level. I'm going to go with my main guy, Blue Toad, and I will be getting started. I'm going to have my speedrun slideshow up while I'm playing this, and I recommend you do as well when you're starting off. I'll give you some helpful tips about your purple coin count, which is still important for this run, but not as important as the advanced or world record routes. And I'll also tell you where the flower and the seeds are, and a few extra notes, just to give you a bit of a reminder. All right, let's get started. Time starts when you hit the OK button on the screen, and we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So getting started here, fastest way to mash through the text boxes is with the A and B buttons. Some things you can only mash with the A button. Text box, you do A and B. When I pass through that pedestal of flowers, I start mashing plus and X. This will allow you to skip these cutscenes. And that's the intro segment. Pretty simple, just hold right. We'll be getting into Welcome to the Flower Kingdom here. We abbreviate it as Welcome on the splits. I should also mention that this run uses the Jet Run route. If you are confused on what that means, don't worry too much about it. It just means we're going to be getting the Jet Run badge. We're going to grab that 10 coin and grab the elephant. And the elephant is very important because we're going to get the Jet Run badge. So we will need elephants. I'm actually going to grab a second elephant here. And the reason why is that this is one of the few exceptions that we will try to keep our power-ups as long as we can, because it's required to get to the Jet Run badge. A few more purples here. We could do a thing called Tree Jump here. Instead, we're going to just wait it out. And a little bit more to the right. You want to avoid getting water in your trunk, so I jump over the flag, the water fountain there, and then under that bulb. And you won't get any water in your trunk. It loses about half a second, so it's best to not have water in your trunk if possible when you're finishing a level. And whenever you grab a flagpole, you want to be in like the bottom half of it, otherwise you lose some time going down the flagpole. That's the first level done. So I have the elephant power-up, and I also have an elephant in my reserve slot. We're going to want to keep an elephant in our reserve slot, or if you're feeling confident enough, just keeping the elephant power-up state. You won't need to go get the backup, but because we're just starting off here, we want to make sure we have the elephant for a level coming up in the future. I'll point out the last possible time you can get an elephant before that happens. I'm going to be skipping the Wonder Flower here. That initiates an auto-scroller, which takes a long time. I'm going to get the first 2 10 coins here. And this level is pretty easy. Just another hold right. Again, want to grab the bottom half of the flagpole. It's a little bit trickier with elephant. Because you're taking up most of the flagpole space. But as long as you're just getting a great on the flagpole, so you can either get nice, good, or great. If you get fantastic or any of the other ones, then you'll be losing some amount of time. So if you see fantastic, you're grabbing the flagpole too high, so you want to go a little bit lower if you can. Alright, this is Scram Skedaddlers. So I'll be trunking this block here, like this, and I'll get you maybe 2 coins, sometimes it's 1 coin. The single purple coins are not too important in the beginner route, but I will be showing you guys all the best places to get coins. In the world record route, you would grab that shell. And if you're always curious about harder strats, you could always look at the world record route. I'm going to go down here and grab this 10 coin. So yeah, you would throw the shell there. It'll save a good amount of time. But going like that is not too much slower. You're going to grab the Wonder Flower here. Making sure you keep grabbing the stars here as they fall down. Okay. And breaking the staircase there is the best way to go about ending the level. Alright, so now we're going to be going into a pretty cutscene heavy part of the run. So again, we want to be spamming the A and B buttons whenever these text box comes up. Both buttons work, so it's a lot easier than mashing just one button. You have a good alternating rhythm. Whenever you go into a level though, the only button that works is the A button. And by the way, I am playing with a Pro controller. This is a Switch 1 Pro controller, by the way. And then I don't have a Switch 2 Pro controller, but really any controller that you feel comfortable with is fine. As long as it doesn't have like a turbo button or anything. As long as you're following the rules of the speedrun. There's no controller that I would really recommend other than the one that you are comfortable with. I also, for my movement, I use the stick, the analog stick, rather than the D-pad. That is just personal preference. I know a lot of people prefer the D-pad, but again, it's just personal preference. There's a few sections that having the control stick actually is kind of a benefit, but you never need to use it. I'll just go over when I think it's helpful to use control stick when the time comes. So again, entering the level, want to be mashing only A because only A will work. And then now we have text boxes again, so we want to do A and B. Probably should not have to tell you how to mash. I mean, it's pretty simple, but figured I would, just in case you thought there was only one button you could mash with in these cutscenes. And also, I don't have much more to talk about right now. We're going to pick up the first badge here. This is going to be the Parachute Cap badge. It will replace the twirl button, the R button with a parachute. We'll be using it quite a few times. If you hold down the button, you glide further, but you also go slower. So whenever I use it, I just basically tap the R button or the ZR button. That way I still get the parachute cap out, but I don't lose any time from it. So you'll be seeing that quite a bit in this next level. By the way, forgot these splits don't have house splits, so not supposed to split there. By the way, these splits are in the speedrunning Discord. Just go to the No Major Glitches channel and look at the pinned messages. That's also where you're going to find the spreadsheet. Or not spreadsheet, the slideshow for this. So I'm just going to tap here. Don't worry about collecting these purple coins. For this route, you don't need them, but might as well show you where they are. So this is the last place to get the elephant power-up, if you need it. Took me a little bit of time to get it, but we do want to make sure that we have elephant coming up here. Smack this block with the trunk, and then this is the one time I will actually hold the parachute cap button. This part's a little bit tricky when you're just starting off. You want to jump over and then just hold the jump button as you're bouncing off the hoppos, and I'll just get you cleaning through here. Again, I want to make sure we have no water in our trunk as we finish the level, and that is, here comes the hoppos. Alright, so coming up we have the first break time level. We have Wonder Token Tunes. I'll be showing off, or at least attempting to show off, how to do the double token grab. But if you find this difficult when you're practicing, don't worry, just grab each token. I mess it up often, so let's see if we can get it here. See, I messed it up there. Don't worry about it. It's a little bit tricky thing. That's more of a more advanced trick. Right. Now we have Hurry Hurry. This level is really easy. Just hold right, jump. Alright, we're gonna buy our first seed here. So we want to make sure we have around 107 purple coins. If we do not have that number, that's fine. We just have to keep in mind that we're a little bit behind. Right now, I'm ahead. We're going to grab the Wonder Seed here, and that'll give us 10 for the next level. So I'm up 4 purple coins right now. That means we don't have to grab any backup coins. But for the sake of the guide, I'll show you where all of the backup coins are. So we'll be getting every single one. But just know, if you're making the purple coin count on the splits by each shop, then you are good. You don't have to worry about any backup. This level's not too different from how World Record does it. So just follow along. We're going to grab the star here, so you don't want to go past that yellow block there, and you're going to wait for Wiggler's second to last segment to be off screen. And that'll spawn the star when you go back to the right. Whack these plants, or boxes, barrels, whatever they are. We grab, chain these stars. This will be overall faster. So another one here. If you just run into those barrels, there's a chance you could just miss the star. So trunking them before you reach there will guarantee that you get the star from the barrels. Okay, so this is the level I was talking about. We want to make sure we have elephant for this upcoming section because we'll be taking the secret exit here. Now we want to be careful here. We want to say maybe later to the badge switch, and that's true for every time it prompts you if you want to switch badges. Just memorize when they'll ask you, normally after badge challenge levels. We just want to make sure we're hitting no to switching badges. Whenever you have these pipes, you want to make sure we ground pound through them. It's the fastest way to go through them. Alright. Hitting these P-switches will help you kind of navigate this level. Just follow the blue coins. I'm going to grab all the 10 coins here. World Record grabs the POW block there, but it's honestly a little bit tricky. Would not recommend it for a beginner. We're going to hop up here, and we're going to start breaking these bricks over here. If you do not have the elephant at this point, you want to grab the one from your reserve there. And now we're taking the secret exit. Spam the R button here so you can get across without losing time. And grab the bottom of the flagpole. And then now, we want to keep our elephant, but we made it past the level where we absolutely need it. So now, just try your best not to take damage. Next level is Twilight Forest. Accidentally closed out. Okay, there we go. Closed out of my slideshow. You can break those bricks to get this extra 10 coin. So this level also has elephants, so if you do miss out, if you take damage, hit these blocks to get more elephants back. It'll help you. There's a few little time saves we can do with the elephant here, like getting that 10 coin faster. We're grabbing all 3 10 coins here. This level's not difficult, but you do want to make sure you know where you're going. Alright, so this next level coming up is Cosmic Hoppos. It's a pretty difficult level. Probably the hardest in World 1. Hopefully you kept at least one of your elephants this far, because we will be using the elephant to grab one of these 10 coins faster. If you don't have elephant, you could probably skip the first 10 coin here and grab a backup later. This is the fastest way to go through the level. Go up here, hit jump and parachute at the same time. And here's what I'm talking about. To grab this 10 coin as fast as possible, you need to have elephant. You have to hit this vine block. There's another elephant there if you need it. Slam into that, go up here. Yeah, there's one of the trickier levels, and then go through this little pocket. Yeah, if you do not have the elephant for that first 10 coin, you could spend some time bringing down a Hoppo and grabbing the 10 coins, but it's pretty slow. Best bet is just to skip it and make up for it later. Okay. So now we have Jet Run 1. So this is where we're getting the Jet Run badge. If I were to make one suggestion on this run in general, is to get very comfortable with Jet Run. The 2 things I would recommend before even starting runs is to just get every level into your memory or muscle memory, and then to also get very comfortable with Jet Run. Those 2 things will help you out quite a bit, because a lot of these levels use Jet Run. That's kind of the whole point of the route. Okay. So we have one more level left in World 1. And there's 2 ways to get there. One way, after we smash through this little text box area, and remember we're saying no to switching badges, is to just go down to the castle by just going in the world map. But you could also hit the L button here and go 1 to the right and go to Wiggler. And this is a tiny bit faster. But if you're not comfortable with your menu movement, you could just retrace your steps and go back down to the castle. It's a very, very small difference in time. Alright, this is important. We're going to be switching badges here. I know we just said no to switching badges, but doing it this way is faster. So hit the R button, change badges, and now we're off. We're grabbing all 3 10 coins here. This level does have more elephants for you. You can grab this purple coin with the trunk. Now this is one of like the harder levels. Of course, it's like the first real level you get after Jet Run. I'm going to go up here and grab this 10 coin like that. You want to make sure you have elephant here to grab this one. I'm going to avoid these bone Goombas. I'm going to do a trick here, or not. Take your time with that 10 coin. The world record route does that very fast, but it's also very tricky. So don't worry, take your time. Yeah, if you don't have the elephant there, there's an elephant right after the checkpoint to grab that extra 10 coin. Again, if you are struggling to keep your power up there, you can make up for it later with more backup coins. But it's more recommended to just grab the elephant and grab the 10 coin like that. Right, I'm going to show you the quickest way to go through this Bowser Jr. fight. It's very weird. You want to jump 6 times in this phase and then whack him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Long jumps, twirl, whack. And for some reason, that'll just make him go to this phase faster. Okay. I like to wait until here. Ground pound him, twirl, whack. So that's the fastest way to do it. Of course, at any point, anything looks too difficult, you could probably just take your time with it, and you won't lose too much. It's better than trying to go fast and messing up. So that was World 1. So that was in 1835. That's about, I'd say, 20-ish seconds slower than world record. So, and we like took things pretty slow, or rather, we took things very safe. And remember, 20 seconds may seem like a lot, but this run is over 2 hours long. Alright, coming up we have another long cutscene. Fortunately, we can't skip these ones. Not much to say here. We want to make sure we're mashing, keeping a consistent pace. Even more mashing. Unfortunately, the game is very picky on what cutscenes you are allowed to skip. So I'm very thankful for the ones we can skip, but there's a lot of these where we're just gonna have to sit here and mash. Okay. We're actually able to go on to an actual level. It's gonna be Dolphin Kick. This is another badge we're gonna be using a few times throughout the run. Mash A here. Hit this block as soon as possible, grab the mushroom. And these 10 coins are tied to how fast you can get through this section. to grab all 3, you do need to be at least somewhat fast. So I'd definitely say practice until you're pretty confidently getting all 3. It's not too difficult, but you do want to make sure you're not missing these 10 coins. So I'm just kind of just mashing the R button, but it's a very light mash. Not like going really fast with it. I'm just constantly pressing it. I can wait here, grab that 10 coin like that. If you're a little bit slower, you can actually grab the 3 purple coins behind the 10 coin. But if you're fast enough, then those ones are kind of out of your way. Don't need to do any twirls here, just get to the flagpole, and that's that level. Okay, so coming up to Robert Cove, we're going to be grabbing, by the way, make sure you say no here, as always. The third 10 coin is a lot easier to get with the elephant power-up. But if we do not have the elephant power-up, we can wait out a rolling urchin to break the blocks for us. We're not switching to dolphin kick here. This level is faster with jet run. So we want to be hopping out of the water as much as we can. Do another one right there. Yeah, this is just the fastest way to get through it. So there is a shot with the shell. That was just kind of muscle memory there. We want to hit that bowl and hit this one. We want to follow this little glowing area. So yeah, World Record does a little shot with the shell there. Saves a tiny bit of time. But don't worry about that. We're hopping up here. If we have elephant, we can just go down to this bottom path. But if not, we want to hop down here and wait for this rolling urchin to break these to get this 10. But because I kept my elephant, it's a little bit faster. Follow these jet streams up to the Wonder Seed. Ground pound, I wait for that row of 3 Condarts or whatever, Robirds. Want to make sure we get out of our water. And that's that level. I could get more in depth with all these levels, but I feel like those are better saved for an individual level videos. We're just trying to just game through the route here. Okay, Bluebird is where we're going to get introduced to the bubble power-up. And this bubble power-up is very important in the grand scheme of things. It's a very good power-up, allow you to do a lot of skips. I'll grab the Wonder Seed here. I want to make sure we have 206. I actually have 10 coins over where I should be, so we're doing great. So we're going to grab the bubble flower here. This is very good. Recommend grabbing it like that and doing a wall jump to this 10 coin. So here's one place you could use the bubble power up. Doing a bubble like that. A lot of bubble flower skips can just be done by just doing platforming. It just saves a little bit of time. Like there, doing one right there is good. We want to make sure we have the bubble flower for this 10 coin. We want to kick the shell. We want to let go of the Y button. Thankfully, Jet Run will auto run for us. We're ground pounding here from the Wonder Seed. So I'm going to show you kind of a fast way to do this. Running into that bubble is fast. If you're struggling with getting up here on your own, don't worry, those bubbles below me are good to take you the rest of the way up. Like there, I missed the jump there. But you could wall jump, do one more wall jump, and ground pound there to grab the seed just a little bit earlier. But you don't lose too much time if you're just riding the bubbles all the way up. If you want to see the absolute fastest, you can watch the world record route. Save a lot of time doing precise bubble jumps. Okay. So if you want to run over this little hill, there's a chance where you can get a purple coin. That time I was unlucky. But if you're a little bit low on purples, like if you're like one off the mark, that's a good place where you can make up a little bit. I'm going to try to keep my bubble power up as long as possible. And the reason why is because a level coming up called Jump, Jump, Jump has a pretty big skip if we are able to keep the bubble power up. For the sake of this run, I will try to keep my bubble power up. Maybe I'll take damage, maybe I won't. If you do get to that level without the bubble power up, just play it kind of how you normally would. But you'll be losing quite a bit of time. And I could show you one more place where you can get bubble before that level. That way, if you somehow lose all your bubble power-ups, you can get one for that level. I could do some bubble jumps there if I want to. If not, grab this 10 coin like that. I'm going to use Jet Run's ability to jump mid-air to grab these 10 purple coins. So I'm actually going to go over here. Don't go too far, just go over here, wait for this Pokepea to start breaking the snow blocks, and then we're just going to grab the Wonder Flower here. The reason for that makes grabbing this 10 coin a bit easier. Some wall jumps. Crouch under that, that was a little bit close. I'm going to slide against this wall, we want these snow blocks to be good. Oh wait, I forgot I'm not elephant. Whoops. That is my fault. Alright, we're going this way. I'm too used to elephant. That's how you would do elephant. But with bubble, we actually don't want to wait for the snow blocks there. Whoops. Split a little bit too early for that Pokepea. I'm too used to my splits having Poplin houses. Alright, so this next level coming up is Puzzling Park. It is a pretty difficult level. I would recommend just practicing this level over and over again until you feel comfortable with it. But the good news is you don't have to worry about losing your power-up. The first part we want to hit in the middle there. I like to wall jump here to grab that 10 token. Jump to grab it, start hold left. I'm going to use Jet Run's ability here to grab this 10 token. I keep saying 10 coin. Land around here, start to ground pound. Instead of going to the pipe, we're going to go back. Start wall jumping like this. And jump around here. Okay, I missed it. Jump around there to grab that last token. World Record does this level of Elephant power-up. Is quite a bit faster. But I won't assume that you have the Elephant at this point. For a beginner, the best thing to have right now is 2 bubble power-ups. Right now, I didn't grab the backup in Bluebird Roost. Let's say I somehow missed my bubble flower. There's a hidden block here that has a bubble flower for you. This is the only bubble flower in the level, and it's right here under this question mark block. Okay. So I'm going to stomp on this Koopa, and I'm going to throw the shell like that to grab the 10 coin. It's not too difficult. Now, there is a fast strat here to save a cycle, but it's a little bit slow. I'm going to wall jump like that and go up here. Yeah, it's a bit tight is what I was trying to say. Ooh, okay, I'm not going to risk it. If you're faster, you can make that cycle. I'm going to purposely take this quite a bit slow. You can bounce off this block to get a bit more speed. I'm going to line up your position for these condarts. Okay, I'm going to stop right here, wait for that condart to the wall, and then wait just a little bit longer right there. I can't tell you why that works, but it'll save you quite a bit of time. Oh, see, I took damage there, but I grabbed the backup flower from that Toadette block, so we are good to try the jump, jump, jump time save. So this is probably one of the harder strats for a beginner, but I do recommend it because it saves quite a bit of time. Again, if you're not comfortable with the strat, just play the level pretty safe and pretty normal. Okay, we're going to go 2 to the right here to grab this Wonder Seed. We should be around 63. I have over 13 of where I should be, but that's okay. This shows to show how many purple coins you can get along the way. So I'm going to switch over to Bubble here by holding A. And then now I'm going to show you the best way for a beginner to do this. We're going to do 4 bubble jumps here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Twirl 1, 2, 3 times. And then start slowing down here. Grab this 10 coin. Wait until we get this last 10 coin, and then do bubble jumps to the end. Now you might be thinking, what's a bubble jump? This looks difficult. It's a pretty difficult strat when you're first starting off, but honestly, it's pretty easy once you get the rhythm for it. This is the perfect level to start practicing it. I won't go into too much detail on how it works here, but give it a shot, and if you're struggling with it, again, just take that level slower. Don't need to do any skips. And if you don't have any bubbles, then you can't do it anyway, so... There we go. Alright. So now it's time for Puffy Lifts. If you do have the bubble flower here, you can actually do a little bit of a skip at the start of this level, but let's say we don't have it. We're just going to wait for this Koopa. And we're just going to go now. Ground Pound here to grab this 10 coin. Ground Pound here, and we're going to do a slide off. So there is a backup 10 coin here. It's a little bit tricky to grab. You can stomp on this Koopa, wait for this bowling ball, and then start to throw it like that. That is a good place to get a backup 10 coin. But if you're good on purples, don't worry about it. Only get it if you are around 91 or less purple coins entering this level. But again, just to show you completeness, I'm grabbing every 10 coin, or backup 10 coin. I think by the end of this, we'll probably have over, like, maybe 150 purple coins extra. So, like I said at the beginning, purple coin management is kind of a big deal when you're doing the harder routes. But you still got to keep it in mind a little bit, because we are grabbing some of these shop seeds. We want to make sure we have enough purple coins. So it's an important thing to remember. But for the beginner route, there's so many backup coins, there's so much leniency that you don't need to have it on the front of your mind the entire time. Just grab the 10 coins you're supposed to grab, memorize where they are, and you should be getting the rest of the purple coins that you need just by playing through the levels. So now we have an auto-scroller. I am using Jet Run for this auto-scroller. The reason why is because at the final section, there is a non-auto-scroller section, and you'll actually save a bit of time using Jet Run. So I'll take this time to kind of talk about Jet Run. There is another route that is called the Fast Dash route if you do not like Jet Run, but I really do recommend that you get used to Jet Run, because if you do decide to keep doing runs of this game and you want to do harder routes and harder tricks, Jet Run makes all those harder tricks a lot easier than the alternative, which is Fast Dash. So it may feel awkward in the moment when you're first learning it, but trust me, it's way easier the more you go on. Also purple coin there, by the way, if you want it. Best way to control your Jet Run is to do crouch walks. There's another purple coin here if you want it. I'm going to grab this Firecracker, This is more of an advanced strat. You want to save some time. Allows you to go into this pipe early. Even if you're not grabbing this backup coin, which I will grab here to show it off, still going into this area is faster. You can save a little bit of time by throwing that firecracker, but I messed it up. So again, only need to grab that one if you're low on purple coins. If you look at the slideshow that I have in the speedrunning Discord, it'll tell you on each slide how many purple coins you should have by the end of the level. Just look at that. If you're below that number, it may be best to grab a backup temple. You could use a bubble here, or you could wait for the Bowser turret to break these blocks, so grab that. So yeah, most of these blocks have some mini coins you can grab. A lot of this is optional. Like, I'm gonna miss out on purple coins here, that's okay. I think my guide makes you get 4 purple coins from these minis. So as long as you're grabbing a few, you should be fine. It also gives you something to do during the auto-scroller, which is a nice thing to have. Yeah, another good way to control your jet run is to kind of do bunny hops around. Because I should have mentioned at the start, but jet run makes you run once you start moving. There's no way to stop it. The only way is to control it. Go into this pipe as fast as possible. This is the room I was talking about. You could actually skip the cutscene here, by the way. Hit X and a plus. And that's the fastest way to do that room. If you have jet run, you're able to beat the first crusher going down, and it saves you a few seconds. But if you are struggling to maintain your jet run, it seems like you're not able to control it as well when there's an auto scroller, switch over to parachute cap or some other badge, and just play the level how you would normally play it. You would just have to wait for that first crusher, or you could damage boost, but I would recommend just waiting. Keeping your power up is very helpful. Okay. Mastered that text box, and now we're doing countdown. So, this level has a speedrun skip if you have the elephant power-up, which this level does have backups, like in that block there's an elephant power-up. But for the sake of beginner, I won't show it off here. The wall jump there. We're just going to grab Lakitu's Cloud, because we will be getting the Wonder Flower here. You can skip. Whoops. Right, I'm going to show off one-sided wall jumps real quick. So, for the sake of... we do want to try to get over here as fast as possible. I like to use Bubble here to grab that, or you can wait for this platform to get up here. And grab the Wonder Flower like that. Don't worry about the one-sided wall jumps, that's more of an advanced thing. But it's good to have in your back pocket if you want to learn it. I was just stall in air. Seed spawns right around here. So being like the 3/4 from the left across the screen. This Lakitu, depending on how fast you go, can be in your way. We're just gonna ignore it. Watch out for these. Whoops. Piranha plants. And that's the level. When you're eventually good enough to start doing that level without spending any time, like you're doing the elephant skip. If you're curious about that, by the way, watch the world record runs. Then you don't have to worry about the Lakitu because it's based on how quickly you beat the level. Alright, so now we're going to play Zip Go Round. I would recommend if you're starting off to switch over to Parachute Cap here. I'm going to do that. Oops. If you're struggling like I am, don't worry. Even in my world record runs, I messed this level up quite a bit. That's also a level that's pretty good if you have Elephant. Just heads up. Alright, we're going to switch back over to Jet Run here. And not much to say about that last level, just do your best. So pushing the R button, and now we're going back to Jet Run.
This place is intense.
Here we go. So there is another 10 coin over here, if you need it. Just go down here. If you have Bubble, you could defeat that guy. You want to use your Jet Run as much as you can around here. I lost my power up there. Go under like that. And you want to grab these two. So you can ground pound here, grab this 10 coin, jump over these piranha plants, slide under there. Don't miss the 10 coin like I just did. And then go like that to jump over this last piranha plant. I messed that up kind of bad because I am used to playing this level with Elephant. So, alright, time for the Bowser Jr. fight. If you have Elephant here, this level's a piece of cake, but if not, just want to hop on Bowser. Just constantly be holding the crouch button. This will allow you to control yourself, especially when the floor becomes ice. I like to just kind of jump over him, like use this platform, wait for him to unshell. Do some bunny hops. So this last hit, if you hit him fast enough as he unshells, you could save a little bit of time. So I'm going to try to do that here. If not, that's okay. See, I messed it up. So this part he's invincible. Just wait for him to be done screaming, and you can jump on his head. That's World 2 done. Yodelay-hee-hoo. Haven't heard these English voice lines in a while. Okay. So that's World 2 done. We'll be hopping over World 3. World 3 is a lot of a faster world. A lot quicker. First, of course, you have a lot of mashing to get through. Okay. Ignore the bottom level. We're going straight to the Wiggler race. Okay. I'm going to push the L button here That will allow us to auto-equip the Dolphin Kick badge. Because I took damage in the Bowser Jr. fight, we'll just grab this mushroom here. So there's quite a few purple coins along the path of Wiggler here. If you're low, don't be afraid to grab some of them. You don't have to worry about grabbing that one. That was actually kind of lucky that I didn't take damage there. We have to wait for Wiggler at the end anyways. So, might as well grab a few purple coins, but if you are a bit slow, like if you're not as good as Dolphin Kick, just try to beat the level as fast as you can. Especially if you're good on purple coins. There's no reason. Like, I am very over because I've been getting all the backup. You can actually go through these bricks with any power-up, as long as you have Mushroom. Alright, so World 3 is the most different from the World Record route because we will be playing an extra level here. We're not going to be grabbing the shop seed here. This is one of the main reasons why the coin route is so lenient for a beginner, is because normally we would spend an extra 100 purple coins here. So we're going to go straight to Hop, Hop, and Away. Oh, after doing the Poplin House, of course.
I believe in you.
Okay. Oh, forgot. Don't split there. Alright, so if you are doing the non-beginner route, if you're grabbing the Wonder Seed from the shop, you would do it from the shop right to the left. But we're going straight to Hoppy Cat. Hit the R button, we're going to go back to Jet Run. Okay. So the first 10 coin is here. You can actually go like that to ground pound through the bricks. I'll be doing a precise jump here to try to grab this Wonder Flower. Nice, okay. Go up here. I'm gonna wait out for the Hoppy Cat. Nice. Jump over him like that. Oops. Want to do a slide there to preserve my speed, but it's a little bit slow. Okay, you could try to get that Wonder Seed fast, but we're just gonna play it safe and grab the Wonder Seed like that. Yeah. So yeah, there's a very precise jump to grab that Wonder Seed early. But you're most likely gonna take damage, I will not lie. So just do a few extra jumps and allow the Hoppy Cat to pass through. Okay. So being this level will unlock the unreachable level. We'll be switching over to Parachute Cap here. They are. Over to Parachute Cap. And we're just going to do 3 one-side Parachute Cap climbs. There we go. And it's really as simple as that. If you don't know how to do one-side Parachute Cap climbs, just go into that level and fiddle around with it for like a minute and you'll figure it out. It's really easy. If you're somehow still struggling with it, just join the speedrunning Discord and we'll help you out. Don't want to assume that people are... I like to say that it's a lot easier than it looks, but sometimes it's still difficult for some people. Alright, this is the fastest way to go through this level. This is going to be the same as world record route. So grabbing that last 10 coin and also not grabbing the top half of the flagpole is kind of tricky. If you're struggling, just grab the top of the flagpole. It's more important that you get the 10 coin than losing like the second or grabbing the top of the flagpole. Of course, we're going to say no to switching to the badge. Never want to switch to the badge. There's going to be a backup coin, so if we're less than 218 purple coins, which we are far above, by the way, make sure we switch back over to Jet Run. There's a 10 coin at the start of this level. So I'm going to try to show off the fast way to do this. I'm going to wall jump here, hit this, and then try to throw up in the middle. Okay, nice, I got it. Wait for this hoppy cat to get through. Go over here, and go up like that. If you do miss, you can follow it up to that checkpoint and then try to hit the hoppy cat as he lands back onto the block. That's the next place where you can grab the Wonder Flower. If you miss it there as well, just keep chasing it up. Eventually you'll be able to grab it. Yeah, important to grab the Wonder Seed here from the Wonder Flower. Okay, I'm gonna hold right. I'm gonna start to ground pound here. Right, there's like a little visual cue in the background. I'm gonna grab this 10 coin up here, just crouch off so you don't grab the Jet Run Coyote time. That's that level. Yeah. Next level is Sugar Star Trial. We'll be using the parachute cap to do a little bit of a skip. So again, this Poplin keeps showing up. Just smash through this dialogue. Okay. And enter the level. I'm gonna hit the R, switch over to parachute cap. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for this first set of sugar stars to get out of our way. Jump down and then parachute cap. Just practice that a few times. It's not too difficult. The key is to make sure we're past that top cloud. And then we're just going to hold right to the end. Thankfully, this Wonder Flower gives us a star, which is why we're not using Jet Run. We do want to make sure we're not falling off. Star speed is just as fast as Jet Run speed. We do lose a little bit of time at the end there when we're not in star form, but the Jet Run variant is pretty difficult. I would not recommend it for beginners. Now, here's the main difference between this route and the other ones, is that we're going to be playing Timer Switch Dash. If we were more comfortable for purple coins, we would grab the World 3 Shop Seed here at the beginning of the world, and we would skip this level. But we're going to play this one. Let's go down here, and I'm going to show you the fastest way to do this. It's been a while since... Oh, also want to make sure we switch over to Jet Run. Oh, I forgot to put it in the splits here. But yeah, make sure we switch over to Jet Run. I like to slide against this wall, and then just follow my movement here. There we go. Allows you to skip going completely around. Yeah, it's been a while since I played that level in a run. Good to be back. And now we play the actual final level. So I need to fix these splits. They should be fixed by the time I re-upload them to the Discord. So yeah. The little letter in the brackets indicate when to switch badges, by the way. And the numbers in the parentheses is how many purple coins you should have by the end of the level. Alright, final level here. We want to make sure we grab the Wonder Flower here because that's the only way we can actually beat the level. Even though we don't need any more Wonder Seeds, we do need to make sure we're going the correct path to this level. Drop down and grab that 10 coin. Jump over here to grab the Wonder Flower. And then just play this level like normal. Okay, but we will be jumping over this seed here, so I'm going to drop down here. Jump over the seed, because we don't need it. I'm just to finish up this level. Do a little hop there. And that is a level. It's a little bit confusing, but we need to be the Hoppy Cat transformation to go to the upper path, because if you don't, we go to the fake exit, it doesn't actually beat the level. There's no more Wonder Seed requirements for this world. Okay. And then an actual final level here is just grabbing the Wonder Seed, or the Royal Seed. Or if you're playing on not English version, the Grand Seed. Okay, after World 2, I don't know too much about split times. I think we're a little over 2 minutes of world record. It's not too bad. It's like 2 minutes and like 20 seconds? Nah. Like 2.5 minutes. Still have a long way to go though. Of course, I am going for every single backup coin, so this is a little bit slower than maybe a truly optimized beginner route. But maybe that's the goal for you to try to achieve. I wouldn't spend too long on the beginner route. It's mainly just for players that want to have a low reset, low risk experience. Once you actually feel comfortable, once you start to notice you're taking less damage, then you can start to consider doing power-up management. And when you notice you're going way over in purple coins every time, then you can start trying to think about skipping 10 coins, or maybe even skipping the World 3, or getting the World 3 shop seed entirely. But when to make that change is completely up to you. And some people may even benefit just going straight into the harder routes. But I do recommend doing this because I will admit the harder routes are a lot more reset heavy, and it could be kind of demoralizing if you are resetting a lot when you're first starting out. Sometimes you just gotta get a few runs on the board to get comfortable, and then you can start dealing with the weeds and resetting. So that's why I think it's beneficial, but people can do however they want. There's no one right way to do it. It's up to preference. Okay, so we will be grabbing the drill power-up here. If we can keep the drill power-up for as long as we can, it's actually better. We can do a few ground pounds here to grab this 10 coin. Do one more to grab this. You can actually go under here to grab a purple coin if you're low. Oops. Let's jump there. So if you were able to keep the bubble flower all the way to this point, having it in your reserve is actually pretty good. But not required by any means. If you break those 2 top blocks, you're able to get this this conch down faster. I would say that's the fastest way to do this wonder section, but I messed up quite a bit. We will be grabbing this last 10 coin here. Let the wall jump on the left side, but you could also do the right side as well. Whatever is easier for you. Okay, so we should have 313 coins at least by this point. We're 60 over because we keep grabbing 10 coins, but always have at least somewhat in mind how many 10 coins we're at. I'm going to talk to this Poplin to grab another Wonder Seed. That's 3 over this time. And now it's time for World 4. So if you have the drill mushroom, which I do recommend you have, you could save a little bit of time by drilling through sand there. Yeah. Oops. Keep forgetting, don't split up Poplin houses. Okay, so we're gonna go to Ninja Party first. So it's in this little cave here. Now I'm gonna try to keep my drill, so I'm gonna grab the backup power up here. Do 2 jumps there. And I want to keep my drill for Armads. I recommend you do that as well. You can also use the Fire Flower to save a little bit of time here by filling those Piranha Plants. Make sure we grab this 10 coin. Wall jump here to grab that. So if you're able to keep a jump combo here, you're actually able to grab a 10 coin. I don't even have it listed as a backup 10 coin. But if you're able to keep your combo, you can actually grab a 10 coin there behind that curtain. Something to keep in mind. But I won't show it off here because I don't want people to worry too much about it. It is in the world record route. It's actually kind of one of the harder 10 coins to implement. But eventually when you get to that point where you're feeling confident with your jet run movement, it is part of the level routing to grab that 10 coin. And it's a pretty cool level. If you feel up to it, you can look at it. Always make sure we don't say yes to equipping a badge. Go down here, we're going to get another Wonder Seed. This time it's 4 to the right. And then this is the level I want to get Drill for. It's going to make the Wonder section a lot easier. I'm not going to switch to it yet, because I do want to make sure we have it. Fastest way to get through this, I like to go under there, and then over here. Okay. Feel free to use this pot to break that pokey. I'm going to switch to it here. And then I'm just going to drill through the sand as much as possible. This section is very fast, so if I'm just hopping out when I absolutely need to and drill through the sand, it makes the section a whole lot easier. And as a bonus, if we do have the drill power up at this point, we save a bit of time in the next level as well. So, a little bit of power-up management for you. It's like a microdose of power-up management. If you take damage, no worries. You just damage boost through. Just be careful. Take it slow if you need to. But I do recommend it. It's not too difficult to keep your drill there. Especially if you go ahead and grab the Fire Flower like I did in Ninja. Okay, here's the level. If you need a drill, even if you're small Mario or small whatever character, you can grab a drill in that question mark block. But, like I did right here, you could just skip through it if you already have the drill mushroom. I also need to fix that, it's the stage at 176. Okay, we're gonna switch over to crouching high jump here. Yeah, ignore the 176, that's gonna be fixed as well. Okay, I switched power-ups there. Don't worry about it. That's a muscle memory from harder route. Okay, so we're gonna go to blooms. I'm gonna push the L button here, and we're gonna go 2 to the right. We go to the Poplin House. And then we're just gonna jump over here, and this is where we get to blooms. I wanna make sure we go back to Jet Run. Now we have the bubble flower here. You could actually grab the second 10 coin here instead of the first. I'm just gonna go down here. If you don't have drill, do a ground pound there. And then a wall jump ground pound will allow you to get the rest of the way up. Want to go high here, or if not, do it like that. Whoops, okay. That's my fault. I'm going to grab the Wonder Flower here. There's a better way to do that section, but messed it up. We want to make sure we have the star power up to get through this section. You could bounce along these walls for a little bit of a speed boost, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just a little food for thought. And then the Wonder Seeds right here. Use Jet Run to grab that 10 coin. If you have Drill, you could just drill under here. Like I do. If not, if you don't have Drill there, you could probably just damage boost through the Goombrats. It's not too bad. Or you could just take it slow and wait for the Goombrats to fall through and then proceed. Okay. I'm going to switch back over to Parachute Cap here for this level. If you have Bubble Flower, there's a harder strat here that you could do. I'm going to wait for this bloom, and then we're going to do this, and then go. Yeah. Using that first bloom that shows up is the best way to go through that level. Now it's time for Snoodles. Remember to switch back over to Jet Run. So there is a backup coin here. I'll show it off, of course. It's the third 10 coin. If you have Drill, drill through the ground there. That's how you can grab the 10 coin, bounce in the Koopa, and then do a twirl to the left. You could use the slope there to use Jet Run to hit that block. So that was the 10 coin that I would recommend getting in the route. But here's the backup coin. We want to go over here. And we're going to hit this bull. We're going to grab the Wonder Seed. And then we're going to go back to the left to grab the 10 coin. Again, only do this if you're low on purples. And then finish out the rest of the level. So at this point, we should have around 176 purple coins. But we have 247, so we're really nailing it. We're going to go to the secret shop here. We're not going to buy the Fast Dash badge. So we want to make sure we're skipping past the first option. And then grabbing these 2 Wonder Seeds. And the other one's too expensive, even after grabbing all those backup 10 coins. And that should give you the 15 to go into the palace. Okay. We're going to grab all 3 10 coins here. So the first one, you do a wall jump and either jump over the thwomp or drill on the ceiling. The next one, we're going to grab this pulley. Grab a 10 coin like that. The third one, we're going to do a jet run coyote time to grab this 10 coin. That jump's a little bit tricky. You can do 2 jumps like that to dodge that bowling ball. And it's honestly the easiest palace in the game. But, of course, practice it. Make sure you're good with it. Easiest palace in the game, but honestly the hardest Bowser Jr. fight here. Make sure we're skipping the cutscene. There's not much to say about this Bowser Jr. fight. Just stay low is my best recommendation. And then when he stops, hit him. The lower you are to the ground, the better, because he'll spend less time needing to drop before he unshells. So I'm just going to stay low here. There is a fast way to kind of do this setup. Staying in specific places, but I think I'm going to make a dedicated video for that specifically. Of course, here we can't stay too low, but I'm just going to stay as low as I can. So he stops there. And this last one's the hardest one, because again, if you hit him too late, he's going to scream, and that's not good. So this one I actually do want to stay up high, and then trying to chase him down. But that time I was a little bit too late. Just wait for him to scream, and then jump on his head. So yeah, if you hit him a little bit earlier there than I did, you could save a few seconds. That is World 4 done. This one, Grand Seed, Royal Seed is a little bit harder to get. You may need to ground pound into it. Gives you a little bit more height. Coming up, we have a pretty long airship level. Fortunately, not much we could do. Again, I'm going to be using Jet Run through it, but this level makes a lot more sense if you want to skip out on using Jet Run. So if you feel like you want to just do like parachute cap instead, that's fine. I'm going to be saving a lot less time than the other airship with Jet Run here, but it's still faster. So I do still recommend using it if you feel comfortable with using it. And now I have no idea how far behind world record we are. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure beginner Male can get a 2OX. Pretty comfortably. But we'll see. Maybe I'm off my mark here. We'll see. So this level has bubble flowers. So I'm going to grab them because bubble is pretty useful. There's not much use in drill and fire flower at this point. In fact, there's actually no uses for fire flower other than maybe allowing you to damage boost if you need it. Run off a few other locations for purple coins. Open that invisible block. There's no need to memorize where all these single purple coins are. I'm just showing you off a few you may have not seen before. But yeah, the beginner round doesn't account for some of these more obscure ones. Be careful not to shake your controller during this section. This game does have motion controls. And if you shake during here, you can dismount from the cloud, and it would not be good to lose time on an airship level. A slow auto-scroller. The other bubble flower is in this big box here. You're doing a loop here to grab all these mini coins. Not over yet, there's still one more cloud section, so again, make sure we're not shaking the controller. And one more bonus purple coin for you, there's a block right here. I'm gonna wait here, I'm gonna wait for the second Mecha Koopa. I'm gonna jump up here, do a twirl, and then don't worry about the ground pound for that pipe. I'm gonna skip this cutscene. I'm gonna land on his head and then hit the button. Next level we're going to is Mama. Mama Mouthful. So this level does have some bubble flowers, so I will be showing off a few bubble jumps you could do to save some time. There's one right here if you want to grab that purple coin below. You could do one here to help cross this gap easier. If you're low on bubbles, there's one in that block. You could do one there, you could do one here, then drop down, whoops, or you could take damage there. Ideally, you land either before it or on top of it. Oh well. Alright, now it's time for World 5, and that purple coin I got on the world map is one of the ones that has a chance to be a yellow coin, has a chance to be a purple coin. So just run over that spot, no hurt in checking, because it's right in your way to the World 5.
Got the place all to myself. It's kind of lonely.
Remember not to split this time. Okay, so we're going to talk to this Poplin here, and we have to be careful of how we choose our options. So we're going to mash like usual. The first option we want to hit yes to. Let's say, can you lend me some flower coins? We'll say yes. Mash a few more text boxes. In the second prompt, we want to say not right now. And now it's time for World 5. So this next level is Upstream Downstream. The third 10 coin here is pretty difficult. I did include it part as the beginner route, but honestly, you could probably be fine skipping it and just grabbing a backup 10 coin. Land on, oops. You either land on top of it or just go down here. It is fine. Grab this, go back. And do some walls. You could wait for this pull, but then grab this 10 coin. Whoops. There's a way to grab that 10 coin without bubble jumps faster, but it's pretty difficult. I'm gonna wait for this thing to fall. I could switch over to bubbles here, but you could be slow and grab the Wonder 10 coin like that, or you can just skip it. It's kind of slow, and then jump up like that, go the rest of the way. This level, I would recommend practicing it a lot, and honestly, you could also check out the world record, how the world record grabs this seed and does this level. This is one of the levels where I feel like it's very beneficial to just play it and see what's the best way that you feel comfortable with doing it. If some jumps seem difficult, there's probably a way to do something else. So just fiddle around with that level for a while until you get it pretty spot on. Okay. We have a backup coin here. If you're fine on purples, don't worry about any 10 coins here, but we'll grab a backup 10 coin at the end. If you have bubble, you could do a skip here. I'm going to ground pound here and wait for these red pipes. So here's where the backup coin is. Okay, as much as I can. Wait for this 10 coin. And then grab the Wonder Flower. And I'm going to show you the fastest way to get through this area. So hit the POW block, go up here, grab this 10 coin first, then that one. We'll jump up here, skip that token up there. It seems counterintuitive, but I'm going to skip that one, and go up here, and then finally grab it when we go up here. Reason why is because when we collect the final token, our momentum stops entirely. So it's better to do it on that token up there instead of the one furthest to the right. And let's beware of the rifts. So this is the first, this shop right here is going to be the first kind of bottleneck. If you've not been paying too close attention to our purple coins, you really shouldn't worry about it too much if you've gone every 10 coin you needed to, or grab the backups when you need to. But if you are low, you could always come back to the shop after doing like Wubba Ruins or Swain Ruins to grab this Wonder Seed. World 6 is like the last shop, but there's a whole bunch of backup coins before the shop, so if you're low, just make sure you grab those ones. My Tum House is another break time level where I just say try your best. Let's just show you a fast way to do it, but really just like try your fastest. Practice it. Get to a point where you feel like you're making it before the level rotates again, and that's good enough. Okay. So we got Wubba Ruins here. All the 10 coins here are too slow, so just focus on beating the level. To get to the group the fastest, just mash the B button. You can grab the power up there if you need it. You have a bubble there, you could shoot that guy that's in your way. There's a cool strat you could do here. Watch the world record if you're interested. Instead, I'm just going to take this slow. I'm going to go up here. And we're just going to wait right here. And eventually he's going to hit the block. There's a bubble jump method. If you have the bubble flower, that saves about 7 seconds. And it's kind of tricky to learn, but not too difficult. Again, that requires some power-up management because there's no flower here. Whoops. Should have paid a little bit more attention to my blob movement. I'll pound through here. And when you're in the blob, don't mash the jump button or anything. You'll just get through the group as fast as possible. That is Wubba Ruins. Okay, now we have Swaying Ruins. The start of this level, you have some time before the slidey dude goes to the door. So you could hit this block and grab a bubble flower if you need it. And even if you don't need it, you might as well grab it because it's an extra purple coin if you already have a power-up. Here I'm going to do a wall jump and then do a bubble jump like that. It's the fastest way to get through this section. If you don't do a bubble jump, you may need to wait to go into that door because it's moving. I'm going to drop down here to grab this 10 coin. Because this level has bubble flowers here, there's also one in this block here if you need it. I'll show off a few bubble jumps that you could do to save some time. Here you could do 1, 2 to go over this section and twirl like that. I'll show off some bubble jumps if there's a bubble in the level. We're going to do crouch and shoot 2 bubbles and then pass through them to get through that section faster. And then we're just going to wait here. So pro tip, use the ZL button to crouch here. Don't use like pushing down like in other Mario games because you want to enter this door. And if you are holding ZL, you could still push up to enter the door while crouching, which allows you to get through that door very easily with Jet Run. If you're using down to crouch, then you will need to let go of down to use the door, which will uncrouch you and send you flying. So if you're not careful, you're not gonna go through the door. So use ZL there. And I just recommend crouching with ZL every single time. But if that's a habit that you need to break, at least do it for this level and for that section. All right. Got one real level left in World 5, and this is Poison Ruins. Pretty tricky level. If you do have a bubble up power-up from Swaying Ruins, you could do a little bit of a skip at the beginning here, but I'll show you guys what to do if you don't have bubble. And you also can grab an extra bubble flower in this level as well if you need it. But the first one is not until after the skip that you could do, so I'll just assume that you somehow took damage in Swaying Ruins and lost your bubble power-up, which is fine. Start of this level has 3 text boxes to mash through. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna hit this block. I like to do a crouch jump into it. You could hit this bulb faster if you have bubble. But don't sweat it. Go around here, hit this bulb. And then here's what I'm talking about. You could jump over, do some bubble jumps to jump over the poison here. Saves a little bit of time. I'm gonna hit this, and then we're gonna wait a second, and then hit that, and that'll allow you to go in here and go through the rest of the level. Yeah, there's a bubble flower in that block if you need it. And then go up and around here to grab this 10 coin. Again, if you have bubble flower, you can grab that 10 coin faster. And then do some wall jumps there. Get up here. And those are the two 10 coins in this level. We're going to ground pound into this block. And then we're going to go back and then ground pound into the hoop. This allows the pillars to fall. Normally we'd have to wait for them. Now we don't have to wait, and it's a little bit faster. Whoops, I took damage there. That could happen. We want to be careful here. We're going to do something called a blob jump. So we're going to jump here. And somehow survive. It's a harder strat. If you feel like you're not getting it when you're practicing it, just wait. You could wait on the moving platform for a little bit. Doesn't lose too much time. But if you're doing that ground pound thing like I told you to do when you're at the start of the blob section, it gives you a little bit more leeway on the blob jump. Here, I'm going to go through the section this way. I'm going to wait here, then go. Go up the wall here. Land on the bottom side of that circular platform. And then jump off there. If you're scared about landing to the lava, just jump a little bit later. Thankfully, if you take damage during these transformation sections, as long as you don't die, you keep your power up, even if you take damage. Which is nice. Yeah. Blob jump, I wouldn't say it's very beginner friendly, but I still think it's worth practicing and going for. But yeah, again, if you're struggling to do it in practice, don't feel pressure doing it in runs. Yeah, pop and rescue here. If you have bubble flower, you could save a little bit of time by shooting bubbles here. But if not, we're going to go around the long way. Go around like this. And then you just grab the Wonder Seed like that. This is a required one, even though we have enough Wonder Seeds. I also should have mentioned in the last level too. They're just required because they don't allow you to go to the next area until you grab it. Unlike World 3 Zip Track Dash. And then to grab this Royal Seed as fast as possible. Once Prince Florian goes into your pocket or whatever, then you can just hit the spin jump button and a good visual cue to grab the Wonder Seed. Okay, nearing the end of the run, we still have one world left to get through, and World 6 is probably the hardest world in just terms of learning and practicing, because there's a whole lot of levels here. So take your time. Try your best. Also has some of the more, I wouldn't say most difficult levels, but some of the more difficult tricks. Hopefully I get them to show them for y'all. And by the way, I probably should mention this earlier. Every time you revisit Petal Isles, you could just hit the A and B buttons when the Petal Isles text shows up, and you'll be able to skip it. Saves a second each time. The only time it doesn't apply is whenever you enter a world for the first time. But every time you revisit a world, then yeah, you could save some time that way. Okay. Be careful not to re-enter Mama. We already beat that level. We are going to go instead to Muncher Fields. Okay. So, if you have the bubble power-up, we can skip through this section. Even if you have a power-up, you could damage boost through here. You could even grab this star if you don't have a power-up. If you have absolutely nothing, you can go into the background. But I do recommend at least damage boosting even if you don't have bubble flower. We are going to damage boost here. Hit this block and then ground pound. And this will allow you to get a star. And then with the star, we can go the rest of the way through the level. Land here, remember to crouch so you don't go flying off. Land here, use jet run. That jump is a little bit scary, but it's way easier than it looks. And then grab the Wonder Seed like that. Cool. Alright, ignore all these other flashy ones. We have enough Wonder Seeds for the rest of Petal Isles. So we're going straight to World 6. You actually enter this level from pretty far away, but make sure you don't hit A too soon or else you'll re-enter the level. I'm going to pull this pulley and then platform the rest of the way up. If you have the bubble flower there, which I don't think you should have because you damage boost, but maybe you used up your power up in the reserve, you can bubble jump up to the top there. It saves a tiny bit of time. Okay, now time for item park. This level is kind of outside the scope of this run. I'm just going to show you a good way that I think to do it as a beginner. But this level has like a whole rabbit hole of strats and ideas. So here's what I recommend first. We're going to grab the bubble flower, like that. Then we're going to grab the elephant power-up. We're going to whack this boulder here. We're going to switch over to bubble flower, going up this way. This is the best way I find to hit these cheat sheeps. We'll do a bubble jump here to get up here. Drop back down here, and then do 2 bubble jumps this way. Now we want to go back through this wall and grab the drill mushroom. And we go over here. And then we want to enter this as soon as possible. Grab the token, and then cross your fingers and hope you can make it back before the platform leaves. And there you go. And then grab the Wonder Seed. This is a pretty hard level. You can follow that route. It's a pretty good one. There are faster methods out there. If you want the absolute fastest, watch the world record. Assuming they don't mess it up. Okay, we're gonna... So this is where I mentioned that there's a lot of backup coins. Honestly, you could also skip the third 10 coin here. But I'm going to show off all 3. Definitely grab the second 10 coin, though. You go over here. And hit this. And then the first 10 coins right there. I'm going to skip the power-ups, or the checkpoints, because they power you up and waste time. This is the second one. Just make sure you grab that bulb. And if you're good on purples, you could skip this next 10 coin. Saves you actually a little bit of time. But it's just right here. You wait for the platform and jump. Of course, we just finished a badge level, so we want to mash through and hit no thanks. We're going to go over here to this poplin and want to say yes to this. So spend the 50 purple coins. We want to make sure we have around 89 coins when we talk to the poplin here. Of course, I'm way over. I think we had 100 extra purple coins. Yeah. This will allow us to get an extra Wonder Seed. fact, this is the level that makes simplified Chinese faster. In English, that voice dialogue is pretty darn slow. Okay. Another reason why I wanted to, okay, I probably should have mentioned this in the actual item park level, but make sure you leave item park with bubble in your reserve. That's very important. And make sure you don't overwrite that. Want to make sure we keep bubble power up there. Don't grab another power up to get rid of it. You can grab another 10 coin here if you need to. But don't go through that first block, apparently. I didn't even know that had a purple coin in it. We're going to do a big jump here and go up this way for the secret exit. There are drills. Whoops. Not bad. Yeah, just get through that pipe. But there are drill power-ups in this level if you need it, but this is a required drill to get to the secret exit. Oops. Late split. Okay. So getting the secret exit allows us to go over to this badge challenge. We're going to play this level like normal, or, you know, it's the same as the world record. We're grabbing all 3 10 coins here. Just follow my movements. Oh yeah, copy it as best as you can. Or, if you want, and you're low on purple coins, you can grab a few extra purple coins along the way. Okay, don't copy my movement, I messed up. Watch the world record. That's all I'm saying, just watch world record. I don't know what went wrong there. Literally the same strat as world record, so I don't know how I messed that one up. Okay. Now we're going back to Rumbas, and now we're doing the normal exit. Again, make sure we say no here. And again, you could grab the first 10 coin here if you need it. Otherwise, just go ahead and skip it. It seems fast, but it's one of the slower 10 coins in the entire run. We're going to do a low jump here. Wall jump as soon as possible. Get through. There's a drill in that top block there if you need it. Bounce off this guy, then go... Ooh, okay. Ground pound through that guy to get the Wonder Flower. Ideally, you jump off that guy and get to the top there, but I'm choking in the 11th hour, 13th hour, whatever. Ball physics are fun. I recommend just playing this level because it's quite a bit of fun to conserve speed. Best advice, jump as soon as you transition from flat ground to a sloped ground. If you find yourself falling into the lava there at the end, just take that section slow. There is a very weird reason why that happens, and that involves more of an in-depth explanation, which is kind of outside the scope of this video, or speedrun video, whatever. So yeah, if you're practicing and it's like, why can't I make that jump? I keep falling to the lava. Just take the long way around. Okay, so now we have rocks, and this is the reason why I'm telling you, keep that bubble flower in your possession, because we're going to be doing a skip here. This is the other exception to the power-up management, because this saves so much time. I run a ground pound here. Hit that, and then grab the 10 coin. Go up here, we'll do a twirl ground pound. If you make it fast enough, you can get it through these blocks. Otherwise, just wait. Alright, I'm going to ground pound here, and we're going to switch over to bubble here. This is important. I'm also going to grab the checkpoint. I recommend you do the same when you're starting off. And then we're going to do 2 bubble jumps. It's just 2. Drop down here. We're going to do 1 2. And there you go. It's pretty easy. If you don't have bubble there, you're going to have to wait for the platform to go. Okay. So I was slow. There is a faster cycle here if you are fast enough. But no worries if you don't. This is the slower one. You have to wait just a little bit longer. This loses 7 seconds. Look up here to prevent taking damage from that Blarg or Rarg. And then grab the Wonder Seed. Yeah, if you don't have a power-up, you could skip a little bit of the auto-scroller there by waiting for 3/4 of a revolution through the spinning platform and then running off the top and doing a coyote jump. It's probably a lot easier to show off than explain, but just fiddle around with in practice if you want to find that out for yourself. Okay, we have Grappling Vine here. This is another level with 2 backup coins if you need them. Oops. Don't go to the shop yet. Unless you have enough. If you have 100 coins at this point, like I do, which I don't know why you would, but if you have 100 coins, you can go straight to the shop and buy a seed. So the first 10 coin, this is a backup coin. You're going to go all the way up and grab the 10 coin like that. Then go up here. The second one is what you normally get. You could jump over the checkpoint there. And the third one, we drop down here and grab the wall like that. So the first and third one are backup if you need it. The second coin is along the path, so get it. Remember, say no. And then pull, turn, burn. We have one more backup coin if we need it. It's the third 10 coin here. We're going to crouch and twirl there. So you get past it without... do a bubble jump there. Doing too many tricks to keep up with what I'm saying. This level has bubble flowers in it, so if you need it, hit the first question mark block. Allows you to skip a little bit of pulling the pulleys. There's another bubble flower here. I'm going to actually hit this one. There you go. And if you need this last 10 coin, you can go under here, and then just go to the left and to the right. And hopefully by now you need to have 100 purple coins for the final shop seed. I have 263, so I am more than good enough. I also did get every single backup coin. So I think the way I have it laid out right now, if you are getting the purple coins I recommend you getting, you should have about 20 left over by the end of the run. You can do a bubble jump here as well to save a little bit of time, if you have it. Go up here, and then I like to jump when you're going into the darkness to grab this last token. Yeah. If I were to recommend, like, let's say you get to the end of the run and you're consistently 20 coins over, I recommend first taking off the third 10 coin of Upstream, the level in World 5. You could also do some bubble jumps here to save a bit of time. It's a little bit risky though. I recommend only doing it if you are comfortable with doing it. Okay. And this goes for like every single level, but if I mention something like, oh, there's a strat here, just watch the world record run, and I recommend doing it anyways, just so you get an idea of some of the more difficult strats. And if you're watching it and it's like, oh, this doesn't look too bad, and you feel like you can implement it, then go ahead and implement it. Okay.
We entrust it to you.
Alright. So now we're going back up to this shop. Make sure we're buying the Wonder Seed here. We want to make sure we're buying it. And then we're going to hit the L, and we're going to go 4 spaces to the left to Item Bar. This is the fastest way to get back to the palace. Okay, so now we have no more shops, so don't worry about purple coins at all. There's no issue here. Alright, so there is a strat here, and I will be showing it off here, and I really do recommend you learn it, because it's going to save you a lot of time. There are bubble flowers in this level if you need them. First of all, grab this pot here. You chuck it here to defeat that dry bones. There's a bubble flower there, and I recommend you learning this strat here. It's pretty tricky, but the more you are consistent at it, the more you're going to thank me later. The alternative is just to wait a super long amount of time for that bone coaster to roll. And it's really slow. So I do recommend you learning that one. If you need any help with learning it, just join the speedrunning Discord for Wonder. I'll help you out with it. Along with just bubble jumping in general. That's your homework. I was pretty easy on you during this entire speedrun route. Didn't try to do anything too difficult, but that one I do strongly suggest you learn. Anyways, here's the fastest way to do the Bowser Jr. fight. Kind of just memorize where he normally stops. If you do the fight the same way every time, he's going to stop in the same places every time. So it's just a matter of memorizing where he's going to stop. He's going to stop right here. Once you start to vary what you do, that's when he's going to start doing some weird stuff. Do low jumps to avoid them jumping up to the sky. And yeah, the rest of the fight's pretty easy. I think the easiest Bowser Jr. fight in the game. World 1's also pretty easy. It's just World 4 and World 2 that give people trouble. Alright, I think this is still on pace for a 2OX. Which would be really cool. Even if it's like a low 210, you could definitely get a 2OX with this run. Because I grabbed so many backup coins that you don't need to get. I also made a few mistakes. But if you get a 2OX with this run, then you are very, very good at this game. And I think that's a good sign for you to move on to one of the more difficult routes with power-up management and stuff. Because I don't think this run will even get a 2OX. Maybe it will. We'll see. If you're on Switch 1, this will probably not. You probably can't get a 2OX with this. But the goal here is to just kind of get a good feel for the run, get a feel for all the levels. Because that's the good thing about the beginner route, is that we only play one extra level. All the other levels we play in the world record route, which makes transitioning routes very, very easy. Because we're only changing things or removing stuff. We're not adding stuff, we're not playing completely different levels. We're just kind of changing the way we play the levels and what power-ups we're using. Where in the beginner route, I tried my best to not use power-ups unless they were in the level. Except for the one I recommended in Rargs, because it saves so much time. Okay. We have 5 more levels here. Missile Megs is a level with bubble flowers. So we're going to be doing some bubble jumps here. I recommend you learn these ones as well. Because once again, they save quite a bit of time. And this is also another good level. I still recommend you learning bubble jumps in Jump, Jump, Jump. because of the very high ceiling, but Missile Mix is also not a bad place to practice your bubble jumps. Alright. Gonna go up here. And at this point forward, don't worry about 10 coins or anything. We are done with 10 coins. We're done with purple coins. There's a bubble flower there if you need it. I just ignore that. I'm allowed one mess up, okay? We want to do bubble jumps here, okay? I'm doing 2. I was kind of sidetracked. I thought those bubble jumps were a little bit later in the level. I guess, no, that was actually intentional. I could show you guys how to do a quick restart. Just pause and hit restart anytime to avoid losing your power-ups. We're going to do 2 here as well. We'll do 1 here. Do some twirls. 1 more here. Make sure we don't grab the Wonder Flower. And 1 more here. And ground pounded the pipe. Can't believe I did that. Anyways, I'm probably not going to be a 210 or a 2OX anymore. That's okay. Okay, next level is high voltage. I'm going to show you guys what I do, which is an audio cue. But you could also just kind of feel it out. We're still going to use the bubble flower here because we should have kept it from doing all the bubble jumps. We're going to wait for the first bass note in the music. And then we go. I'm going to show you guys how to do a cool power-up grab here while we're waiting here. Feel free to skip this if you... Oh, well, I'm not going to show you guys. That's okay. Yeah, don't worry. We can do 2 bubbles there, or we could slide into that group of 2 dudes. And that's how I get through that section with the bubble flower. If you don't do any bubble jumps there, or if you don't have bubble flower, just wait out the spark. It's not worth going for if you don't have bubble flower. It's too difficult. Okay, next up is Seeker Bills. Pretty difficult level. The hardest of the World 5, I would like to say. Bubble saves a lot of time here, but I'm just going to show you what to do if you don't bubble. Ideally, you want to have bubble here so you can bubble through the pipes to hit the bulbs early, which saves you a lot of time. Okay, apparently it's B real time. Do a twirl here. Jump over. I do a jump here. Jump like that. Okay. Go down here. Go like this. Go like this. Hug the pipe. And then ground pound. Then we're going to go over here. I'm going to do some wall jumps. You could also just wait for that Bill Blaster to break through it. And honestly, it was probably faster than the way I did it, but up to you what you want to do. If you have Bubble Flower, the best way is to go over. If you don't have Bubble, might as well just wait for the large Bill Blaster to break through the bricks. Knucklefest is a tricky level. If you want to do it as fast as possible, watch the world record route. Or a world record run. We'll be playing this one safe. You can do a pretty wild jet run in the middle of the level. But here we're going to go under here and then do a coyote jump to skip the first section. We're going to take some damage here purposely. You can ground pound this to go faster. There's a elephant here if you need it. I recommend grabbing it. And then we're just going to hit this platform. Get through this area. And just take it slow. Again, if you want to go fast there, you can watch the record. Okay. Now we just kind of have like a pseudo auto-scroller here. This is the fastest way to grab the flower there. There's another elephant in that block after the checkpoint if you need it. I'm going to show you a block that you can do that doesn't lose any time. Whoops. Okay, well, right at the end. I don't think I grabbed the. Oh, I did grab the checkpoint. All right. Oopsies. I'm gonna purposely show this with drill because maybe you'll have elephant at this point, maybe you don't. You want to hug it against this block there. That's what I failed to do last time. It allows you to breeze through this area without too much trouble. Ground pound this. Jet run off. Go under, hit this block. And then go over here. I do recommend having Elephant at this point because it's going to make the final boss fight a little bit faster. And that's the fastest way to grab the Wonder Seed. Okay, there you go. I purposely died there so I could show you guys how to actually do the final section instead of me messing up. A little bit unfortunate I did mess up Knuckle Fest at the end there. Okay. There's no text boxes after this, so we want to go straight up. Don't be mashing right here because you'll re-enter Knuckle Fest. This is where the text boxes are for some reason. Okay, very important. We will be switching badges on the final level because this will be the fastest way to do the Bowser fight. Make sure you switch power-ups or badges here to boosting spin jump. We could skip the cutscene here, plus an X. And then this is just an auto-scroller. If you're on Switch 2, with this route, you could definitely get a 2OX. Especially if you start to implement a little bit of power-up management. On Switch 1, you're probably looking at maybe best case at 210, which are both pretty good times for a beginner route. A little bit unfortunate I did die in Knuckle Fest. You know, it's hard to play consistently for 2 hours, even at a world record level. We do have to worry about Shadow Bowser here, but because we're on the beginner route, he turns into stone, so don't have to worry about it. Yeah, see, that was a joke. That always happens. Don't ever worry about Shadow Bowser. Don't fall victim to my dumb joke. nothing to really say about this section. We don't have to worry about purple coins, so we just have to make sure we don't lose our elephant. Enjoy the fact that you're not using Jet Run here, because it would actually make kind of platforming through this a little bit difficult. You gotta be careful about the poison coming up here, especially if we're elephant. Could make it a little bit difficult to navigate, but as long as we're steering far clear from it, we don't have to worry. Just follow the coins. And one more piece of advice here, do not get crushed by this pipe. Or this one. Okay. Gotta talk a little bit about entering the fight. I'm gonna show you the way I do it. But the slower you take it, the easier it is to go into the fight. Because we have to wait for the auto-scroller to stop auto-scrolling and allow us to scroll the screen freely. The faster we can cut into it, the better. And there we go, that's how I do it. So if you have Elephant, we could immediately hit Bowser there, which is why I recommend you have it from Knucklefest. If not, you're going to have to wait for that purple lift. If you have Bubble Flower at this point, you can do Bubble Ladders, which, if you want to learn more about that, watch the World Record run. They're more of like an advanced technique of bubble jumping that uses the spin jump badge. But again, a little bit outside beginner level route. So you can grab another elephant here. It's gonna make this next part easier. Okay, so we're gonna go in between these two hands, spin there to hit Bowser, and hug the right side of the screen here. We're gonna try to do a double hit. Actually, we're gonna stand here and do it. Like that, perfect. Then hit the hand here. Hit that hand, and then jump spin. There's this thing called Quick Fire, which is basically RNG. We don't know how to control it, but let's see if we can get it. Do not get it. If you start shooting fireballs, basically right after he enters the background, you save yourselves like 4 seconds. Okay, we can grab Bubble Flower here. I could show off what the bubble ladders look like. They look like this. See how I'm like just gaining a lot of height? Yeah, you can implement that into the fight to save a lot more time. I'm gonna switch back over to Elephant because it makes hitting the hands a little bit easier. Okay, I want to stay on the left side of the screen between these two bumpers. One hit there. Another hit there. Gotta make it over to the right side of the screen now. Hit these hands going from right to left. That one's a little bit awkward. Then here. Wait for the purple. Hit the hand, and then you want to hit him as he's coming down like that. That's going to give you the best pattern for the final hit. So blue, and go over here for pink. Jump, wall jump off of Bowser. And then wait for blue. That's time. So I got 2-11-11. Unfortunately, I did mess up Knucklefest pretty bad, but yeah. Overall, I mean, this run's not too bad. I finished with so many extra purple coins. If you didn't go for any of the backup coins and you just followed the route, you could probably get a 2-0x pretty, I wouldn't say easily, but that's like an ideal time for this route. 2OX. So if you wanted 2OX, then not a bad place to do it. You don't have to worry about resetting due to power-ups. You don't have to worry about each little single purple coin. It's a lot more of a chill run. So would recommend it if you're starting off, but not like required. Like you don't have to do this route if you don't want to. If you're starting off, do however you want. Okay. And that's basically it. To avoid this going on for longer than it needs to, that's going to be it for this video. Appreciate everyone for watching, and hope to see you again.